How to Save a Marriage, 5 Crises. Every couple goes through. Imagine this. Just yesterday, your partner seemed perfect, but suddenly their habits start to irritate you, the romance disappears, and arguments arise out of nowhere. Why does this happen? And can it be avoided? The statistics are discouraging. Half of all marriages end in divorce. But the most interesting part is that they don't fall apart randomly. They happen at specific moments in life. These crises are programmed, and if you don't recognize them in time, you might lose your family. Today, we'll analyze the 5 key crises that all couples go through and learn how to preserve love and avoid becoming strangers to each other. First crisis: 1 to 2 years, oxytocin has worn off. Your eyes start to see reality, and the reality is this: he has been brushing his teeth only in the morning his whole life, while she believes he must do it both in the morning and at night. This means they start getting irritated by each other's habits. He thinks it's unnecessary to throw a big birthday party with guests, while she wants flowers, gifts, guests, a dress, a cake. Naturally, the first thing a woman does in this situation is to teach the man how things should be done. By the way, men do this too, especially if they are significantly older. In this case, the man immediately tries to mold the woman to his liking. Instead of accepting each other, we strive to change our partner. The crisis of 1 to 2 years becomes even more difficult if a child is born. The partners haven't yet had time to get used to each other, agree on shared household values, and now they have to take care of a third family member. One says, "We should swaddle the baby," while the other disagrees, and the arguments begin. Important tip: couples who have personal space get along better. Everyone should have a place to think, be alone, relax, and engage in their favorite activities. My husband and I had no personal space. We lived in a one-room apartment with our child, and there was no opportunity to breathe, or rather, we didn't see the opportunity, though it was certainly there. Second crisis: 3 to 4 years. During this period, the masks come off and each partner tries to be themselves again. They reconnect with old friends, pick up abandoned hobbies, and try to reclaim their individuality. If a child is born at this stage, the crisis intensifies. The young mother focuses on the baby, while the husband feels left out, especially if he is treated only as a helper. If you feel that you've outgrown the relationship, notice that arguments are happening for no reason. One or both of you are avoiding intimacy, and all conversations revolve only around the children. Then these are the first warning signs. However, don't rush to file for divorce. You're not the first to go through this difficult period. Important tip: don't be afraid to trust your husband with the child. And don't forget that becoming a mother doesn't mean you stop being a woman. At one point, I turned into an eagle mother who wouldn't let anyone near my baby, but that was completely wrong. I thought I was a bad mother if someone else spent time with my child instead of me. Third crisis: 6 to 7 years. It is believed that one should change jobs, businesses, or hobbies every 7 years to avoid stagnation. The same principle applies to family life. By the 6th or 7th year, everything is stable and well organized, and all the initial conflicts have been resolved. However, the sexual relationship begins to suffer, and during this period, many couples experience infidelity. Affairs allow men to feel desired and romantic again, while women seek the lost romance in their lives. Important tip: Romance is essential at any age, but it can take different forms. Find something new, interesting, and unusual together. And remember that romantic initiatives don't always have to come from the man. Women should also take the lead. Always start with yourself. Otherwise, you might be waiting forever. Fourth crisis, 11 to 13 years. By this time, couples have been through everything together. In most families, the children are already independent and household routines are well established. This crisis is the most inexplicable because there is no external reason for dissatisfaction. It often coincides with a personal crisis where people reassess their values and feel like they no longer want to invest in their relationship. Everything that could be done has already been done. The whole life is still ahead. But will it end like this? Important tip. At this stage, both spouses should set new goals and work toward them together. You should have shared ambitions that strengthen your marriage. Look for new ways to use your accumulated experience. It's crucial to become a team instead of going through this period alone. Fifth crisis, 20 years. This is known as the empty nest syndrome. The child has grown up and moved out, and suddenly the meaning of the relationship is lost because many marriages were built solely around raising children. First kindergarten, then school, then university, all efforts were directed toward the child. Now the child has their own family. What happens at this stage? Why do people divorce after so many years together? It turns out that the husband stayed in the marriage for the child's sake. Once the child leaves the nest, the father no longer feels guilty and is ready to end a relationship with a woman he no longer loves. The woman falls into depression, thinking, "I gave him the best years of my life, only to realize he was never truly devoted to the marriage." Important tip: when children grow up, it's time to experience a second youth together. Remember that you are partners first, before being parents, grandparents, or anything else. What did you dream about when you were young? Now is the time to bring those dreams to life. Maybe you wanted to travel the world? Do it. Perhaps you dreamed of living in the countryside. Make it happen. Don't be afraid to experiment. Add excitement to your intimate life. And most importantly, be patient and attentive to each other. Additional recommendations to save your marriage. If these don't work, at least you'll know you did everything possible, and that will save you from guilt over a failed relationship. Because even if the marriage is over, blaming yourself is the easiest thing to do. Learn to talk, but not during a fight. Wait until both of you have calmed down. And don't bottle up resentment. Your partner can't read your mind, but they can listen to you. Learn to listen, even if it's not interesting to you. Don't push your spouse away. Pay attention to their problems and feelings. Don't manipulate. Manipulation is an attempt to control your partner, and where there's pressure, can there be real love? Don't blame your spouse for everything. Instead of saying, "It's your fault again," try saying, "It really upsets me when you..." Don't focus only on their relationship. The world is vast and full of opportunities. Develop yourself, learn, and make new friends. Don't try to change an already formed person. You can only change yourself, and only voluntarily. Be a supporter and partner in all their endeavors. Everything should be mutual, but start with yourself. When forgiveness is impossible, sometimes a marriage is truly over. What situations are beyond forgiveness? We'll discuss this in the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it.